You're listening to the Ripple Podcast. We joke and laugh a lot, but the content itself is serious, sometimes scary, graphic, and always true. This podcast is meant for mature audiences and includes subject matter and language that is not suitable for young listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor, Ripple.
And welcome to the first ever episode of Listener Stories.
This is going to be one that's going to be hard to top if we ever do listener stories again. If we ever have listeners again.
Yeah, because we're on location.
This is the spookiest location we've ever podcasted.
Ever. Well, we've only podcasted 2 other locations, so.
Yeah, but those were kind of spooky, but this is definitely the spookiest.
So we are in the Glen Tavern Hotel right now.
In a hotel room.
We didn't get room 307 because apparently those book like a month and a half ahead of time in October.
And we're not good at doing anything ahead of time.
Never, ever. Hence this
Our late
episode coming out
episode.
late.
Well, it's well worth it.
But yeah, we are in room 211 of the Glen Tavern
Why does
Inn.
that make me nervous that you're saying that out loud, even though this is going to come out like way after we're ever going to be here?
I don't know. 211. We're in room 211.
That's where we are. Oh, let's hide something in this room.
Okay.
Let's hide a sticker.
Okay.
Where should we hide it?
In the middle drawer of the...
No, housekeepers will for sure find that.
Oh.
Let's hide it in the very, okay, so there's this big, huge entertainment center, armoire,
TV.
antique-y looking thing.
Console.
Let's hide it at the very top. Because I bet they don't clean that, yeah?
I wonder if it dips down.
Let's find out.
Okay, yeah. We'll put it up there.
But we're for sure going to get haunted tonight, without a doubt. We have our Ouija board. We have our spirit box.
We've already been in the bathroom where Calvin is known to hang out, and we tried making a connection there.
He might visit us. I feel like he's going to visit us tonight.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh, should we talk? Okay.
Go ahead.
Glen Tavern.
Santa Paula,
Santa
California.
Paula. We did an episode on this way back in the day. It's probably not worth listening to because the sound quality is so bad. But should we do a quick recap?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because I don't really remember it. It was my story.
It was your story, so that's all
Okay, so
I remember Houdini stayed here at one point.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Houdini stayed here. He had his own special room with all of his props and stuff. Because there's a train station nearby. And he can't leave them on the train station because people would find out his secrets.
I feel like Charlie Chaplin stayed here because there's a big old cutout of him downstairs.
Dude, there's so many movie star people who stayed here.
We'll take a bunch of pictures and post them on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
You guys can check it out. As well as our room and just some cool stuff that...
Oh shit, did you hear that again?
No. What am I listening for?
The banging, the weird booms.
Probably because this is the least soundproof room that you have ever been in. We just heard people across the hallway asking somebody else if they wanted some dog food because this is a pet friendly hotel, which is super cool. But if you hear
What?
Oh my gosh, look at, do you see that moving? Do you see that moving?
Why is that moving? Oh my god.
Do you see that moving?
Yes. What the hell?
There's no air over there.
What the hell?
Do you see that? It stopped.
No, it's moving again. Okay, I'm going to video it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we have a do not disturb. Oh shit, my phone's not stable. It's probably just the wind.
There's no wind.
Yeah, no, but it's under the door.
We're in a freaking hotel room. There's no wind.
That's weird. No, that's normal. That happens. Yeah. That's pressure. It stopped. Okay, so for those of us who are just listening and not watching us in real time, we have a little do not disturb sign.
Please make up room. Do not disturb.
And it was swinging back and forth, and then it stopped, and then it was swinging
It's
again.
moving again.
Now it's rocking again.
Slightly, a little bit. It was going.
It's just people walking by. Yeah, that's nothing.
Okay. It's just the air.
You just keep watching that.
Okay.
Oh God, now it's reacting a lot. if I remember from however long ago it was that we did this episode. So this was built back in like the 20s, I think. Is that right? Earlier than that.
A long time ago.
Okay.
Really, really, really,
A long time ago. I'm probably way off. But the first kind of crazy thing that happened is that it was used for a lot of people who were in the film industry because they were filming like a bunch of Westerns and stuff. And there was a bunch of people who would gamble and
play poker.
And
it was Prohibition time too as well.
It was Prohibition, and they were like enjoying ladies of the evening, and there was like shootouts over poker games. Pew, pew. It sounds like there's still shootouts going on.
Yeah, we heard a few
based
of those.
on the gunshots going on outside. And yeah, so there's like a legend that there was a sex worker who was killed and stuffed into a closet. We remember that part. And then a cowboy who was shot over a poker game, Cowboy Calvin, and he supposedly hangs out in the women's restroom.
So what is so spooky about room 307?
That was the old like speakeasy.
Okay.
So that's where Calvin was shot.
Okay. And there's something with the walls in there as well, right?
Yeah, his cowboy hat was found like way later on when they were doing some like weird construction where they tore down walls. They found a cowboy hat with a bullet hole in it.
Okay, that's what it was. I couldn't remember. And that's the room that we tried to get into but couldn't.
Right.
Okay.
And then there was the flood that killed a bunch of people. And
so many people.
At one time, this hotel was used as a consumption tuberculosis ward. Consumption and tuberculosis are the same thing, right?
Consumption?
Yeah, isn't that another name for tuberculosis?
I heard consumption is like what you consume.
No,
you
but
don't
like
want
the
to
disease.
consume tuberculosis.
No, like as in the disease.
I've never
like,
heard that.
Really?
I've heard TB and I've heard tuberculosis.
I swear. Okay, I'm going to sound like an idiot.
No, you won't, because you're probably right.
Well, we've done a lot of consumption tonight,
obviously.
For sure. So what else?
So we're drinking some red wine.
Oh, yeah. We had a wine explosion earlier.
Like it looked like a murder scene.
Yeah. So we brought a bottle of wine. We did not have a
bottle opener.
Corkscrew. That's the word.
Mm-hmm.
So we experimented with ways of trying to open the wine without that. And murder scene in the bathroom.
The best way we discovered to open a bottle of wine without a wine bottle opener is to push the cork inside the bottle.
It's totally fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's not like we need to save the wine because, yeah.
It's all good.
Okay, I'm going to read you a story.
Okay. Listener story number 1. Our very first one. I'm so excited.
Listener story number 1. Hey, Ripple Pod. Here is my creepy, crazy story. When I was about 6 or 7 years old, my parents went to Las Vegas for the weekend and left me and my brother, who was maybe 4, with our babysitter. We had stayed over there before and always had a good time since she had kids too. The night we stayed over, something woke me up and I walked out of the room I was sleeping in and into the family room. As I walked in, I could see that there was something or someone sitting on the couch watching TV, except the TV wasn't on and the, quote, thing watching TV was just black with no features. No.
That's all bad news.
It turned its head and looked at me. Looked is in quotes, by the way. Then turned away and looked back at the TV. There was also another black shadow in the kitchen area, but I was too scared to see what it was doing.
Oh, there's more than one?
Apparently. I freaked out. Well, yeah. And ran to where my brother was sleeping and made him come with me to the babysitter. The babysitter said that I had just had a bad dream and told me to go back to sleep.
She didn't go check?
She told her to go back to sleep. When my parents came to get us, I told my mom all about what I had seen, but I don't think a lot sunk in because my aunt had passed away that same weekend. I'd forgotten all about this experience until I got a lot older, Then it just came back to me one night when I couldn't sleep.
Oh, that's so creepy.
I vividly could remember this night.
No.
Seeing the backyard and pool lit up by the moon, the way the room was set up, the darkness of the images. I even asked my mom if she remembered me telling her what happened, and she did. I was able to look up what was happening that night because...
Wait, what? Look up... Okay, sorry. Tell me what. Look up what?
Because I had the date my aunt passed.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a full moon. So that would explain the brightness from the backyard. I can't explain what I saw or why I saw it, but I thought that this would fit in well with your podcast. I love listening, except for the Russian doll episode. That one freaked me the fuck out. Ha 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 ha, Rachel.
Wow, Rachel.
That email freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, why did we decide to stay in a freaking haunted hotel the night that we're reading all of these stories?
Two black, like shadow
people.
people.
Aren't those isn't that a thing, like shadow people
Yeah,
in like the paranormal world?
but why would they be sitting and watching TV?
That's what I was gonna ask too. Like, that's so bizarre.
And the
how do you
TV
know
wasn't
they're-
on.
Oh,
And it
see-
just was sitting there, and then it looked at her and then looked back.
okay. But how creepy would it be, even if it's not a shadow person? Somebody just sitting there staring.
Oh my God, stop it.
Isn't that so weird?
Stop it.
Somebody sitting there staring at a TV that's not
Yeah,
on in the
that's-
middle of the night, and then
No.
they just like turn
I
and
don't like
look
it.
at you.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, read yours. Read yours. Read
Okay.
yours.
All right. This is from Mimi.
Okay.
And it says, "Hi, here is a weird local story that creeped most everyone I know out." And the story says, there's a Paris couple who admitted to the torture and abuse of the majority of their 13 children who were held
What?
captive in a house of horrors, have been sentenced to 25 years to life in prison during an emotional hearing in Riverside courtroom. David Turpin, 57, and Louise Turpin, 50, wept openly before sentencing, wiping their eyes with tissue as some of their children spoke publicly for the first time about their ordeal. The victims discuss how they suffered at the hands of their parents, but also talked of the love that they had for them regardless.
Okay, wait. When was this? What year was this?
Okay, this is in 2014.
I
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I totally vaguely remember this. I think.
Wait, I think it's 2014. Well, the sentencing was in 2019, so really recently.
I feel like
okay.
I remember this. Yeah.
So I scrolled through her email a little bit before we started reading,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, wow, it was the same way. I'm like, okay, this sounds kind of familiar.
Mhm.
And then she has some pictures in here. So once you see these pictures, you're totally going to remember this because the guys in the family all have this like really distinct bowl cut. And I don't mean to laugh because this is like totally a horrific story. But look at his hair and you might remember this news story.
Okay. Oh.
Do you remember that?
Okay, so that guy, the guy in the gray, we'll have to like post these on our Instagram so people can see what we're talking about. But he reminds me of the guy from the staircase story.
Oh, I never watched that.
Is
Is that like really bad of me because that's like such an iconic true crime?
no.
I mean, I've listened to the story.
But that's
a
what he
bunch.
looks like. That's what the first person that he reminded me of.
Yeah, I kind of remember this story. It was really bizarre. Like there was a ton of these kids. They were homeschooled. They were like kind of locked away. And it's this really weird, almost cultish type family. This is like a really, really long one. So I'm going to try to like just give you the highlights. But,
Or low lights.
her low lights, definitely. These are like not light. These are like dark shadows. Horrible stories. But they had a bunch of kids. They kept them locked away. And a lot of people didn't even know that they were there.
Oh my gosh.
And then one of them, like one of the older kids, somehow like got out and told people what was going on. It's really awful. But there is something like weird, almost Stockholm syndrome about that, like when you're kept captive for such a long time.
That's all you know.
Yeah. One told the court that they believed everything that they did was to protect us and asked the judge for a lighter sentence. After listening to her children speak, Louise Turpin read her own statement to the court, crying as she apologized for inflicting years of abuse. "I'm sorry for everything that I've done to hurt my children. I love my children so much," she said through the tears. "I only want the best for them. Their happiness is very important to me." David Turpin's statement had to be partially read by his attorney after he became so overwhelmed with emotion while delivering it to the courtroom. He said, "My homeschooling and discipline had good intentions. I'm sorry if I've done anything that caused them harm." The Turpins pleaded guilty to 14 counts back in February as a part of a plea agreement with the prosecutors. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. That is wild. It's really creepy and intriguing, but at the same time, it's like so sad because like clearly they were not well, and it's like
Either of the parents. Yeah.
Dang, that is bizarre.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, that's such a weird thing because like I remember seeing it in the news, but then I never really like heard.
Well, a lot of the time with, fortunately and unfortunately, with child abuse or neglect or whatever cases, because they're minors, so much of it is kept private for the kids' sake.
For sure.
But you kind of almost wish they would say more, just because then people would be more aware of stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So our next story is from a listener named Eloise, which I think is the coolest name. Super cute.
That is.
Isn't that like a old timey
from like a fairy tale?
Yeah, I like it.
It is cute.
She writes, I grew up not knowing I grew up not knowing that my next door neighbor was a pedophile.
Oh.
This is not what I thought it was going to be. He had 2,000 indecent images of children on his laptop.
Oh my God.
My neighbors don't feel safe even though he was arrested. Oh, that's sad.
Wait, is he still there?
Well, it says he was arrested. Hopefully he was like put away.
Well, I'm just thinking, she says our neighbors don't feel safe.
Even though he was. Maybe they're worried he's going to come back.
Oh.
Like maybe his house is still there.
Maybe. Oh, weird.
So did you watch Cheer? Wait. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is that the end of the email?
Yeah, it's just a little short one.
Oh.
It's just, well, I mean, we asked for creepy stories.
I mean, that is by far a very creepy story.
Super creepy. Did you watch Cheer, that Netflix original?
I loved it, and I don't even give a crap about cheerleading at all.
Okay, so who was your favorite?
What's his name?
Jerry?
Yes.
Who was recently arrested for child pornography and solicitation?
He sure was.
And I'm like, oh, these are just people like
attacking him.
Looking for money, looking for a handout. And
I didn't even think of that.
And then I read what he was being charged with and why. And
not good.
Not good at all.
He was America's sweetheart. We were all rooting for him.
I know. But he did some bad things.
Wait, okay. So what did he do? Like, what was he being charged with exactly?
Well, like sending pornography to other underage children.
Oh, no. What the hell was that? What just binged?
I don't know.
Is that your computer?
It sounded like it was behind me.
Maybe it's from like below us.
Oh, maybe. Oh, it's loud. Yeah. Sending pornography, soliciting pornography, doing very inappropriate things like via live phone calls, like FaceTime or whatever, and also doing very inappropriate things during like cheer competitions.
Ooh.
Like meet me in this place that I found.
What the hell? Come on, Jerry. You know what I feel like right now? Do you know that the GIF or whatever it is of Tyra Banks when she's like freaking out and she's like, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
Yeah. It's very...
Man. But yeah, that is like a pretty good example of like you think you know somebody and then like, surprise, I'm a pedophile.
Yeah. Oh, so gross.
Yeah. That's like, that reminds me. Did you ever hear about the BTK killer's daughter? You know about BTK, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
So his daughter, like, this is kind of like in the same regard of like, oh, you think you know somebody?
Uh-huh.
Like, she grew up with BTK as her father, and he was not arrested until she was like grown up, out of the house,
Right.
like in her own place. I think she was already like done and out of college. She was like a teacher or something, and like some FBI or whatever, whoever does that sort of thing, CIA person comes and like knocks on her door and tells her this.
Your dad has...
Your dad.
Yeah.
Like, you think
is the
you
mother
know
effing BTK,
somebody.
yeah.
You think you have like a creep radar, and you can like have a
like good
sixth sense of
about
like,
people.
oh, you know, that person kind of creepy. You don't want to be around that person. And then it's either like your own freaking dad.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So she...
But then you... I mean... I don't,
What?
I want to
Say it.
Okay, so like, if your family member was like a bad person like that, would you like question yourself? Like, shit, do I have that in me as well?
Oh, yeah. I bet you totally do.
I would. I absolutely would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you're like, oh, am I also a sociopath? Am
Right.
No, that's for sure like something I would question.
Nuts. Okay, go. We have to be coordinated to do this right now.
And I also like I keep hearing like people in the hallway below us and above us and everywhere. And you know what? I'm gonna just like pretend this is our very first ever live show, because we definitely have an audience.
It's totally like a live show, like COVID style.
Okay. This person, the subject line is just entitled Ghost Story, and I can't see quite who it's from. Okay. So it says, hey, Rosa and Angela, I love your super rad podcast.
Oh, super rad.
Super rad. I have what I think might be a spooky ghost story. When I was about 7 years old, I was playing at my grandma's house while I was waiting for my mom to get off work. I remember running from room to room and with my stuffed monkey hanging on my back.
Stuffed monkey.
Stuffed monkey hanging on my back.
I'm hoping that's a toy, not like a
Not a
taxidermied.
taxidermied monkey. Yeah, let's hope so. When I ran from the living room to the kitchen, I glanced down the hallway towards the bedrooms, and I saw a tall woman dressed in a white nightgown walk across the hall from my grandma's room to my uncle's room. I wasn't afraid, so I followed after her.
Brave.
Yeah, seriously, I'd be terrified. You're too young to understand. I'd be terrified, absolutely. I followed her, but when I looked into the room, she was gone.
Shut up.
I'm not sure if I told my grandma at the time, but when I started writing this story, I decided to give her a call and see if she remembered this happening.
Yes, do that. Always
Okay,
double
Grandma.
check your facts.
What if she's like, no, absolutely not. I don't
What is
remember
wrong
that at
with you?
all.
Why are you crazy? Stop calling me.
Okay. As soon as I asked, she said, yes, hun. That was Aunt Harriet.
Oh, like she totally knew.
Wait, what if like his aunt lived there too, and she was just like,
Oh, like rocking a white dress that night?
I kind of don't think that's the answer.
No,
though.
probably not.
Okay, it turns out that this ghost was a regular visitor who followed my grandma to California from South Carolina.
Whoa, that's some like dedication.
Seriously. She was my grandmother's aunt, but my grandma later found out that she was actually her grandmother.
Okay, wait.
She was my grandmother's aunt,
but she later found out
that she was actually oh,
is that like someone that had a baby that
was
like,
raised as a sibling,
right?
Oh,
like a
scandalous,
like a 14, 15-year-old pregnancy,
a teen mom before there was MTV,
right?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Keep going.
My grandma has seen her pass through the halls and even once spotted her floating outside the patio looking into the house. Oh, absolutely not.
I wonder if Grandma's scared.
I don't know.
Or if she's like, dude, Aunt Harriet, what do you have to Grandma Harriet?
Yeah, I don't know. So she first remembered seeing Aunt Harriet the day after she had died. However, my grandma was not yet aware of her passing.
Oh, so she like died and said, hey, I'm going to go visit Grandma.
And Grandma didn't,
Or
granddaughter. Pretty crazy, right? Anyway, that's my spooky story for spooky ghost season. Thanks for keeping me entertained on my long commutes. Cheers. Oh, Jose.
Oh, thanks, Jose. That was rad.
Jose. Dude, that is crazy.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay, tell me.
Not that you and I have seen a lot of ghosts.
Oh, yeah, I have seen some ghosts.
But
I keep forgetting.
Why are they always in long white nightgowns?
What is
dresses or whatever?
I don't know.
Like, is that like the ghost attire?
Maybe. It's
the
like,
ghost
okay,
uniform?
welcome to the afterlife. Here's your standard issue uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dude, that's rad.
That's what we should have brought tonight.
Long white nightgowns?
And we should have just like walked up and down the halls holding hands.
Yes.
That would have been freaking...
Okay,
why didn't we think of that?
Please put those on our Christmas list.
Seriously. Can you please get us some matching long, old-timey, maybe with like a ruffly collars and like ruffles around the wrists?
Total long sleeves.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we need to make a Ripple Pod Amazon wish list.
For sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. What's next?
Okay, so I have a story here. Let me open it. Okay. Hey guys, here's my story.
Wait, do you have names for these people? Do we know who this is from?
I do. It's at the bottom.
Oh, because I was the same way. I'm like, do we have to scroll down to the bottom and see? Because the emails don't always tell you who it's from.
This is from Val. So, when I was in college, I helped out my great aunt a couple nights a week. Is this our third aunt story? Well, I guess aunt was a grandma, but that was an aunt. And then the
aunt secret grandma. And then the one before that.
The black shadow people.
Oh, yeah.
Aunt had died.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Okay, so here. Oh, wow. Okay, so when I was in college, I helped out my great aunt a couple nights a week just to be a person in the house with her. She was never
nice.
Yeah. She was never married and had no kids and was older.
It's a way to do it.
She wanted someone around at night. I liked it because she was always nice to me and her old ranch house was awesome. As she got older and my schedule got more busy, I wasn't able to do as many overnights, but I still made sure to visit as often as I could. The year she passed away was the year I was supposed to get married. In her will, she had left me a pair of gold earrings that she had brought back from a trip to Italy.
Aww.
Unfortunately, these earrings couldn't be found anywhere. My aunt, who was helping with the distribution of her willed items, wanted me to know that she had thought of me and wanted these earrings for me, but after looking and looking for them, they couldn't be located. A few days before my wedding, my aunt called me and told me that the earrings had been found. They showed up randomly on my great aunt's dresser. People had been in that house on and off, and the earrings were something that people knew to be on the lookout for, but no one had ever seen them until they had shown up on top of the dresser. I'm convinced my great aunt put them there for me. Needless to say, I wore them on my wedding day. Val.
Whoa.
Crazy.
That's super crazy. I've heard of things like that happening.
That's nutty.
I've heard of things like that. Like I don't even remember what the story was, but I heard a story about like a woman who was like constantly losing her wedding ring all the time, and her husband had passed away, and then like she found her wedding ring like on her sink, like the next, like a place where it's like in plain sight, where you would have noticed it even if you weren't looking for it.
Well, this is on top of a dresser, like
just that's like out in the open,
right? Yeah,
that's
I've heard of like
wild.
lost items that have been visibly found or seen. That's crazy.
I wish my dead relatives would help me find my car keys sometimes.
Or my cell phone.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Things I lose frequently.
Yeah. Whoa, that was a good one. Thanks, Val.
All right, you're up.
Okay, I'm up. So I have a story from, who is this from? Bree. Okay. Bree says, hello. This is my first time writing in, so I wanted to say how much I enjoy listening to your podcast. Oh, thanks, Bree. I've never listened to podcasts before, but now that I've listened to yours, I completely understand why people love them so much. Aww. If only you knew.
That makes me so happy.
Oh, okay. So I've been trying to think of a story to send in all month. Unfortunately, my story is not much of one, but it's a little something. Well, I think it's probably wonderful. When I was in 7th grade, my favorite teacher, Mr. E, had one of those easy red buttons from Staples. Oh, the easy button.
That was easy.
Uh-huh. When you
I
push
had a teacher that had one of those too.
Really?
Uh-huh.
When?
It had to have been high school.
I didn't even realize that was a thing for that long. Like, I thought it was a relatively new marketing
I
thing.
had to have been in
It's
high
been
school.
around that long?
Yeah, and like when you answered a question correctly,
He would hit the button?
uh-huh, like as a praise type thing.
Oh.
I
Like
totally, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I had no idea. Okay. So when you push it, it says, that was easy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mr. E was pretty well known for having that button and for using it during class. Mr. E was pretty laid back teacher, so there were times that we could goof off a bit. There was one day that a student wanted to show the class this website she had found. I need to stop drinking wine. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of it and couldn't find it, but basically you could type in questions and it would give you an answer back. The questions could be anything, although I believe it stated on the website it worked better with yes or no questions.
So like a Magic 8 Ball website is what I'm imagining.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds
right.
I mean, that would be fun.
Will I go to prom? Yes.
No. Okay. So we asked it a bunch of random questions and it seemed to get the answers right, but we wanted to see just how far it would go. So one student typed in, "What does Mr. E have on this desk?" It replied with easy button.
No, it didn't.
It did. That's so weird. Okay. So it could have replied with anything, a computer, a coffee mug, a plant even. But the one thing that Mr. E was known for was having the answer it gave. I know that there are plenty of people who have that button, but it was too much of a coincidence. Needless to say, we stopped using No, don't stop using it. It has all the answers.
No, and send it
They
to us because I
stopped
need to know
using
what
the
website this is.
after that. Keep up the great work. I look forward to the podcast every week. Oh, that's really nice. Sorry about this week.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Okay,
sorry
we need
we're
to
late.
find that website. We need to find it.
I wonder if it. I mean, what would it be called? Like a fortune teller website?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to do some research. If anybody knows what website Brie was playing with,
Send it to us
let
because
us
we want to play with
know.
it.
Yeah. What would you ask it?
When am I going to be famous for this podcast?
Do you really want to know the answer?
Never.
It just has a blank.
just and try again. Result hazy or whatever that said. Answer hazy.
Oh, that's
What would you
cool.
ask it? Lottery numbers?
I don't know.
Well, that's a good answer. That was easy.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, here's another one. This is my last one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is from Sarah. Sarah with an H. I always have to say that because I have a friend, Sarah.
Without an H?
Without an H. And she always says that. I'm Sarah with no H. It says, "Hey, Ripplers." Oh, someone's got a name for us. I heard you guys were looking for listener stories, and I have a spooky one for you. When I was a teenager, I lived with my mom and sister in an apartment. We had a little Shih Tzu named Molly that was sleeping at the foot of my bed. It was a weekend night, so I was staying up late reading. Randomly, Molly jumped up and started growling at the bottom of the corner of my bed. All the fur was standing up on her back. I tried to calm her down, but when I tried to pet her, I noticed she was shaking. Ugh, dude, dogs can totally sense weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I looked closer at the corner she was growling at and noticed the bed was indented like someone was sitting
What
there.
the hell?
I
No.
freaked out, grabbed
Absolutely
her,
not.
and ran to my mom's room. I did not sleep well for a little while after
Ever
that.
again, Sarah hasn't actually slept since.
Thank you for reading. Keep up the good podcasting work. Love, Sarah.
Holy shit.
Dude, now I'm like looking at the bottom of the beds.
That's so weird. My dogs have done that. They
like stared at corners or
when I was in college, I had a house split with 2 other people, and they also each had a dog. So we had 3 dogs in the house. We had Smokey, Bella, and Blueberry. 2 pit bulls, and then my cattle dog.
Right.
And they were like
I forgot about Blueberry.
Blueberry's so cute. She was like a pit bull mix, and she's like just the funniest looking. Like, she looks like an eel. She looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch in dog form. But they were all like begging from us, like while we were eating dinner or whatever. And then they all like stare up at the ceiling
At the same time?
Yes. And then they're just like kind of like walking around, like looking up at the ceiling, like there's something there. And then they all chase whatever this thing was on the ceiling down the hall, like into the bedrooms. And they're like staring at it over there. So I don't know. My roommate was like convinced, because we knew that somebody had died in the house, and that's like how we got the house.
Awesome.
But again, maybe it was a raccoon on the roof. Or like a rat in the crawl space. I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
I kind of believe more of a spiritual thing.
That's true. I mean, I feel like as much as Smokey loves to chase rats and whatever other small critters, squirrels and stuff he can get his hands on, it's going to take a lot for him to go away from begging from dinner.
Oh, good point.
Maybe it was just, I don't know.
Yeah, the dogs have that sense. Monroe, she was acting super weird one day, like super freaked out, just wouldn't leave my side, was real clingy and whiny, which is not normally like her.
That would make me think something was going to happen to me.
Well, it did. I mean, not me specifically, but there was an earthquake that day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dogs for sure can sense that. Ashes always knows when it's going to rain. The night before, she'll like do a little like
rain dance.
Yeah, the rain dance.
Remember,
totally.
Mom's dog Zora used to do that. He he was better than the weatherman.
Yeah. The rain dance, like little rain dance thing that she does, it's like, obviously like she always does a couple circles before she lays down to go to bed, but she'll like straight up like dig at her bed and circle and dig and circle and dig and circle and do like a ton of times, and then like for sure it's gonna rain tomorrow.
Well, and people have dogs as like seizure alerts.
Yeah,
dogs know stuff. They know way more than we do.
Dogs are so much better.
Dogs
than
are rad.
humans. We don't deserve dogs.
No, not at all.
Okay,
is this our last one?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this me?
This is You're reading our final thought.
Oh my gosh, this is a long one.
Okay.
Who is this from?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Oh, Emily. Wow. Okay. Hey, Rosa and Angela. I have a story for you. My husband and I were living back east in this really old 2-story house. We had a bunch of creepy things happen there, but I'll share the creepiest story. Thanks. I had a little cabinet that I would keep my products on top. I would get, what kind of products do you have, Emily? I would get, but like, okay, I get it.
Hair
like
products?
Yeah, but I just automatically assumed kitchen because like I like eating things. But anyway, I would get ready in the bathroom while my husband was hanging out on the bed. One time we saw one of my products start to fall off the edge, then reestablish itself upright again. Oh. You have a poltergeist.
That's crazy.
That's so creepy. So it like started to fall
and
off.
then uprighted
and then
itself.
it was just like, oh, just kidding.
Haha.
Oh my God. I hate that. Neither of us nor our dogs were walking around.
The dogs. They have dogs.
Or moving it to make it shift like that, much less come back on its own.
Yeah, that's weird.
We were both at least 4 to 6 feet away. Okay, and the crazy thing is, like, it sounds like they both saw this happen. It wasn't just like something you caught out of the corner of your eye.
Well, it probably like moved and they probably like,
What is
like,
that?
yeah,
And then it's like back again. Oh, I hate this. Okay. We constantly would hear footsteps, talking, or even sometimes laughter coming from upstairs when we were downstairs. No.
let's move out of this house.
I wouldn't have an upstairs anymore. I would just always forever. I would just board that up. Nope. When we were upstairs in bed, no, don't ever go up there again. We would hear what sounded like footsteps coming up the creaky old wooden stairs.
Oh my God, move so fast.
Seriously, one of our creepiest pictures we took was when our rescued puppy was only about 6 months old. My husband, other dog, and I were laying in bed. She looked cute, so I started to take a million pictures, as you do. As any fur, she says that, of course, as any fur baby parent does. Yes, my husband
absolutely.
and I were calling her name to get her attention, but she was looking away from us. Oh my God, this is just what we were talking about. Her head slightly moving as if she were watching something.
Dude, that's what we just said. That's what you said about Smokey.
Yes. Well, when we looked back, I can't read. Well, when we looked back at the pictures, we realized that she indeed was looking at something. In only one picture was what looked like a crooked shadow of an arm in the corner.
I don't like this anymore.
My God.
I don't like this anymore.
And she looks like she's staring right at it. I don't think it was my finger, since it was only on the other. Oh wait, what wasn't any on the other photos? Wow, I cannot read. We need to like edit.
Can you read
edit,
please?
And I can't bend my finger all weird like that. And my hair was pulled back in a bun like it usually is the second I come home. I don't know if she was scared or not, but she wasn't growling or barking, just simply looking. Feel free to post these pictures. These included pictures.
Okay, can you show me the pictures?
For your other viewers to see. I'd like to hear any ideas of what this could be. Thank you so much for reading this long email. Love, Emily. Oh my God.
Okay, are you looking at them?
Oh my God. I'm loading. Okay. I see the cute puppy. She's looking.
Is there a weird...
What? Oh my God.
What are you doing?
No, I don't like this. So she sent 2 pictures. There's one without and then one with the creepy arm.
Hand me it to me.
Okay. Scroll.
Okay, there's Puppy. Hi, Puppy. And I'm scared to scroll.
Slide.
What the fuck?
What is that?
What the fuck? No.
Wait, okay. Let's figure out what it is.
A creepy alien hand, arm, fingers.
Let me see again. Okay.
What is that?
So it's like, oh no.
That's horrible. That's
no,
horrible.
it definitely looks like an arm, like a crooked elbow.
With a hand.
Yeah, like it's bent backwards. And then there's like some really like witchy looking. Okay, we're gonna post this.
Yeah.
Like witchy looking finger type things. It's
Oh
like
my
almost
gosh.
like a chicken foot.
That's a good description.
It is terrifying. I hate it so much.
And it's only in that one
God.
picture she said?
Yeah, and that's like what she's staring at. The dog, and she's right. Like the dog doesn't look scared or anything. It's just like looking. Like what is going on there? Oh my God. Wow. So this is a first.
We are so not sleeping tonight.
No, this is definitely something that we didn't think out, because we're like, yeah, we'll totally record this
In the
episode
spooky hotel.
at the haunted hotel, and didn't even like put together that we're not going to sleep at all now. So thanks for that.
Good times.
Also, I learned how well I cannot read after drinking that much wine.
I was thinking that when I was doing it too. Well, thank you to our listeners that sent in stories. That was super, super fun. Are we going to randomly pick a few?
Yeah, we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll announce at the next episode, like who got the prizes. We'll just like cut up all the names and pull out the winners.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Because we read how many? I don't even remember.
I don't know. We picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did 9 listener stories. Wow.
Cool. Okay. Well,
thanks so much,
yeah,
listeners.
that was awesome. We'll start planning for our next listener.
Yeah. Send us your
episode.
stories.
And we'll hold on to them. And we don't really have like a request, like creepy, whatever.
Yeah, I think just
whatever.
keep it open.
Yeah, we like to hear you. We like to hear your stories. And if you find, I don't remember who sent it in, but if you find like a cool story, just send us that link too. Like a couple, like who was that did Mimi?
That was Mimi.
She sent us those creepy links.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Freaking watchers. Oh my God.
Right? Yeah.
So bizarre.
So we totally like love that stuff. I mean, we're scared shitless right now, but it's super fun. But yeah, thanks for sending us that. And this is our first listener story episode.
What's our email address?
The Ripple Podcast @gmail.com.
You can also, if it's easier or whatever, just send it to our Facebook
or Instagram DM.
or Instagram.
Somebody,
direct
I
message.
don't remember who it was, but someone sent one through Instagram.
Oh, okay. Did we read that one?
Yeah, and I think someone sent one through Facebook as well.
Oh,
now
okay.
that I'm like, I think
Rosa pulled them and all and put them together. So.
And obviously we didn't pre-read them. So
yeah,
excuse
otherwise
our stumbling of words via wine. But yeah, that's it. Send us Facebook, The Ripple Podcast, Instagram, The Ripple Pod, email, The Ripple Podcast @gmail.com. And then one of these days we'll get a TikTok.
Oh, yes.
I know you're super excited about that.
I love it now.
But yeah, social us. Is that a thing? Can I say that? Social us?
You just made it a thing.
Okay, it's our thing. Copyright 2020.
TM.
All right. Until then, don't forget to be a fountain.
And not a Jane.
Bye.
Bye.